Warning: the following show may contain strong language, such as German or perhaps Russian. That always sounds pretty strong. I wouldn't get your hopes up, though. Our hosts can barely speak English.
Right, so you guys, after your trip on the Mauritania, have arrived initially into the docks of Southampton, where you spent a fair bit of time being dealt with by the police as they wanted answers for all of the stuff that happened on the boat. You got through that pretty well. Again, I forget his name, but the guy in New York who sent you over spoke on your behalf, as did the captain. Even though you alienated him a bit at one point, he eventually kind of sided with you guys about how things played out. Just trying to check how you guys would have dealt with customs, because obviously you did have some weapons, didn't you? Let me have a look. What weapons did? So the biggest weapon carrier was Desmond, who managed to make it off quite easily. Johnny, you're just carrying a knife, so you probably concealed that quite easily. I would suspect, sadly, Ross, that your handgun would have been confiscated.
What?
Since you pulled it on the main deck in front of the crew, I'm afraid they saw it and it had to be handed over to the police.
And he saved lives because of it.
Yeah, but they're willing to take his side of the story, but there's no evidence of any lives saved or lost because her body was taken.
Yeah, but,
It's all right.
but we also saved the count, and he'd probably be like,
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm just gonna get the count to get me a gun.
Yeah. So anyway, so
The thing is, you're in London, you'll not be able to get a gun. That's your pistol. Stays over.
He's the
the
count.
cardinal, and he's got ties with the British government who are trying to help him do something.
Whose side are you on, Jimmy?
Oh, Desmond's.
Yeah,
Why don't you just marry the count?
I'm gonna knife Desmond when
You
next.
never will.
So as it stands, the rest of your weaponry will be remaining in crate while you're here in London.
My handgun's going in the crate now.
Sorry?
My handgun's going in the crate.
No. Your handgun was taken as evidence by the police.
Ah, what?
Yeah, I know.
Right, we'll get another one.
What?
Useless, Ross.
So in the crate still is Frank's revolver, more knives for Jimmy, and Ross's shotgun. But that stuff's in the crate right now. So
I'll find out when I'm going to get my handgun back.
Well, we can get to that. We can figure that. Like, I'm just trying to explain where we are right now, anyway.
Okay.
So as the story stands, you will have got through customs. You'll still be departing in Southampton. Where in a moment you'll have a chance to speak to the Count if you wish before you all go your separate ways. But just to give a little bit, I'll give you a little bit of recap for why you guys headed to London, because it was a while ago you made that decision. So a few different leads led you here. If you remember, when you originally found Elias's body, there was a variety of clues pointing to different locations around the world. One of them was a business card to the Penhew Foundation, which is in Tottenham Court Road in London. And the business card listed, the name on it was Edward Gavigan, the director. And as you also are aware, the Penhew Foundation is established by one of the members of the Carlisle expedition, Aubrey Penhew. So that's one of the leads that led you here. Another one was that you were following the trail by speaking to his publisher. You were following the trail of the Jackson Elias's path over his recent investigations, and London was one of the last stops along the way, where he stopped to visit a newspaper called The Scoop, they're essentially your local contact who've been sent to meet up with by the publisher in New York. And I think the last reference to London was, if you recall, you found a weird mask that Desmond looked into.
Yeah.
And the crate was, I think it was marked Penhew Foundation of London as well.
Ah.
So those are the things that brought you here. You're not in London yet anyway, but they're all London-based clues. And so you sort of arrive at the docks of Southampton, mostly weaponless, a bit shaken up from the journey, and about to begin your journey. I mean, and then the Count's there, like with all his entourage, packing their stuff onto like a car. And also there is a man there waiting for you, holding a sign up saying, I don't know, it's I guess Boston Adventurers, Adventure Bastards.
It had a name, but I can't remember what the name was.
Oh, the company.
Yeah.
I actually forget what your organisation.
Real nerds.
No, it was like, no, it was Lee's second name. I can't remember what it was though.
Rustback Investigations, is it?
That was it, I think.
So yeah, so there's a gentleman, a young gentleman holding up a sign saying Rustback Investigations, and the docks as well. So there you go.
Not,
And,
it ain't me, just saying.
yeah.
I'm gonna go over to the Count and fetch my knife that he was gifting to me.
You're so presumptuous. So you go over.
What do you mean?
No, what I mean is, it's not like it's like you could probably ask him for it. You can't just be like, I'm just gonna go take that knife off the Count. I'll also pull some money out of his wallet.
Well, his car's being packed. He's not gonna leave without giving me my knife.
I know, just go ask him, man. Don't just be like, I take a few of his tires and.
No, I was letting you guys.
All right, sorry, I'm just being a
I wasn't
dick.
going up to him and going, all right, mate, I'm here for that knife you're gonna give me.
All right, that's fine. Sorry, I'm being a dick. I thought that was your like.
Count.
I thought that was your yeah. I thought that was like your command there. I'm just gonna go take that knife.
Hello, Count.
What was you calling him? It wasn't Count, was it?
Andy.
Andy. No, please call me Andy.
Oh, he's got the accent on this time.
No, I'm not sticking with that. I know I don't want to promise accents because I can't do accents.
So, where are you off to?
We're taking a bit of a tour around the country, but we won't be here long. We're just gonna visit some friends and dignitaries, and then make our way over to the mainland.
Oh, very nice.
And where are you gentlemen off next?
We haven't quite decided. We're still probably a little bit angry about that cad, Desmond.
Very friends can be disappointing. I've had many a friend turn on me in my time, and as you can imagine.
I wouldn't really call him a friend, but you know.
Don't speak ill.
But don't worry, he'll get his comeuppance. In fact, if you know any hitmen,
I do indeed. But it seems like a matter you might want to resolve for yourself. I mean, I can put some. I can do something if you wish, but.
Oh yeah, you might as well. I mean, I'm sure we'll get him eventually. But I mean, if
you
you
should ask him to like find out where he is
Yeah.
and get
Guess
back
it
to us
is
at some
fun.
point.
He doesn't know.
No, but he's got connections.
Not as many as Dezo.
So would you?
You're not here,
A guy that's going to inherit Russia has less connections than Desmond.
Desmond.
Would you?
Who was stealing painting?
Just you wait and see.
Okay.
So would you like a hit put out on this man? I mean, it's the least I could do for you, gentlemen.
Just get his location, John.
Just get his location. Hold off on the hitman for now. We're not there actually. It's up to Jimmy. But he should probably talk to us first. Jimmy's like,
It's your
well,
choice.
yeah, if you could find out his location, or if you could capture him and then just let us know, so then we
He-
can
yeah.
like torture him brutally.
I'm coming over. They're talking. I don't like it. Tell him to
Frank, good to see you.
Yeah, very good to see you.
He does like a fist. He does a fist bump. He does a fist bump.
That's
What?
not.
He
That's
does
not
a
Frank.
That's not Frank. Yeah, I'm Frank.
I get confused.
Where,
It's been a long journey.
is the fist bump thing a new thing, Count, or is that just something I'd enjoy?
You just seem the type. You Americans.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I overheard talks of a hitman. For Desmond.
Jimmy here was saying you'd like me to get a deal with your Desmond friend.
We would like it if you could possibly hire someone from that profession, but just to keep an eye on him for now and wait for more information. We're not sure if we want the hit itself, but we do need someone to keep an eye on him if possible.
I'll see what I can do, but my associates, they're not detectives. That's you gentlemen.
Mhm.
They're
Okay.
that's not what they do. But I'll see what I can do. And if I can track him down, I will let you know.
And if you can't let us know, maybe we'll be up for it. Who knows?
Well, I will see what I can do. I can make no promises, but I will, because this is not my country. But I will see. If he comes to Russia, he will find things difficult.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, and of course the gift I promised you, Jimmy boy.
No, you shouldn't have.
He says, "Oh, you don't want it then?"
Very
What's it
blunt.
look like? Describe it.
I'm not the type of person to refuse a generous gift from.
Can I have one?
This is
No, you'll lose it.
this is for all of you.
Oh, you have to share, Jimmy.
So,
Describe what's the blade look like. I
So-
wanna
so-
know.
Yeah.
so a voice in his head asks him to describe the blade. At the other end of the docks is just Desmond shouting from the boat, "Describe the blade!" Yeah. Anyway, so he pulls out basically like a really ornate box, like hand carvings of sort of Russian sort of folklore imagery across the top of the box, and he sort of hands this over to Jimmy.
Awesome.
Cheers, Andy.
No worries, Jimmy. No worries.
Well, if you ever need anything,
Yeah,
Yes.
if you gentlemen visit Russia, assuming I live to tell the story, then please do come by. I will I'll be. Oh, no, and as I said before, if you ever need me, do get in contact. I'm not sure how easy it'll be to contact me, Telegram or whatever, but if you make some effort, I will do what I can for you.
what's your mobile number?
Oh, well, reception's terrible in Russia right now.
What network you on?
O2.
Hey, this
Stop-
is good.
stop
I'm
it.
good.
Stop it.
You're ruining this illusion, Perrin. 20s.
What Telegram network you on?
British Telecoms.
Oh.
Get yourself with an American company.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, so he leaves this box with you and takes it and takes his leave and thanks you all.
Open the box.
We left a whole box.
It's,
I hope there's a load of knives in there because I don't have.
It's only
anything.
it's only like a small box. It's like sort of cigar.
1 minute.
I
One
know,
minute.
that's how big I went for. God.
Yeah, no,
I had a small knife in my gear and possessions. Do I
Yeah,
have 1 minute?
That's the one that I gave you. 'Cause
Oh
you're
yeah.
like, I don't have a knife. That's like, go on then have one. Because you lost my other one. But...
Johnny, open the box now, Jimmy.
Alright.
So inside you find a box, so a knife that is
We find a box inside a box.
yeah. There's a box in the box,
Interesting.
and in that box there's a knife. The knife's like it's kind of like more. It's obviously intended to be more ceremonial and decorative than necessarily used as a weapon, but it will function as a weapon. It's like because the handle is all like gold with like gems encrusted, not like ridiculously gaudy, just like a couple of gems, just to kind of
Sounds
make.
gay.
And it's a gay knife. It's a homosexual knife. It only has sex with other knives.
So,
I mean, Frank gets bonus points, isn't it?
and the
On the
blade.
inside of the box, there's instructions that says roll 10 d10s.
But the blade is also like super like reflective and like brand new. It's like because most of your knives have got much more scratch and wear and tear and usage. This is like completely like pristine.
Bonus damage to Desmond's.
I haven't.
why the hit?
'Cause he's-
Why the heck you shot at me?
I haven't even justified myself if I ever
I
return.
don't give a shit.
And in the middle of the blade has like sort of Russian text carved in it to sort of again more decorative. There's all this kind of stuff that you would get. This is the kind of knife that you would see someone hanging over their a mantelpiece kind of thing, if you get what I mean. Anyway, but it will do damage, and you can use it in combat if you choose to. It's but obviously. When you said you wanted a knife from him, he didn't. He's not really. I mean, he's obviously not a guy who was then thinking about giving you some rough, cheap knife. He's giving you the best
Oh, yeah,
knife.
no, of course.
Okay, so there you go. There's your knife.
Thanks.
And obviously, Askew's still there with his sign.
It's not really me. honest.
Now we're going to the sky of the sign then.
I says, so you guys are the adventure bastards?
That- well, one of the remaining.
So, gentlemen, yes, my employer, and this is. Oh, sorry, I should say this guy. This guy's like a bit young and eager, like kind of like he's a bit of a noob.
Oh, damn. Don't feed.
He's like my boss Mickey told me to come get you guys and drive you to London. If that's okay with you guys.
Mickey, eh?
I guess so, yeah.
YOLO.
Do you need any hand with the luggage or anything?
Yes. All our luggage.
Anyway, he loads clothes and stuff you do have into the back of his car. It's like it's not uncomfortable, but you are a bit cramped in there. Like you couldn't imagine how you'd have probably all fitted in there if Desmond had made it through with you.
Feel his presence still.
Oh, thank God Desmond's not here.
Yeah. Jimmy's just like leaning out like a bit of space. So then, so basically, you guys set out on a few. I'm not sure how long the car drive would probably be. Probably about at least 3 hours or so. Journey from Southampton to London. It's like 1 hour by car these days. Probably a lot longer in those days.
From Southampton to London.
Yeah.
Not sure it's
Less
that-
traffic.
About an hour and a half.
So yeah,
Less traffic,
so it's probably 2 to 3 hours with slower cars and worse roads and stuff like that.
But less traffic.
But it doesn't matter.
no speed limits.
Because you're not going to get that fast.
The cars don't go to the speed limit, that's why.
Yeah.
Driver, is this one of those new fancy sports cars?
He says his
I
name.
can make Southampton to London in about an hour and a half.
He says, "Don't call me driver." He says, "My name's Jimmy."
Well, you never said that.
What? We've got Jimmy, and we've got Jimmy.
I says, "Oh, you're called Jimmy too." It's like Jimmy
but-
buddies, Jimmy buddies.
You guys are gonna get along fabulous.
These guys are going to be called Jimmy Squared.
He says, "I just work in the mailroom at the Scoop right now, but they kind of give me all of the kind of shit jobs if you take no offense to that. But it's, I kind of want to be a reporter, but driving people abound from like a taxi service isn't exactly what I expected when I joined the Scoop."
Keep at it, kid. You'll get there.
This is what
No.
you've worked as a reporter?
Now drive.
Okay. Okay.
What's the encouragement from Jimmy then?
Jimmy's so hot, and then he's so cold.
Jimmy, so mean to Jimmy.
So, so what kind of how long have you wanted to be a reporter?
Oh, all my life. I was always, since I could read. My mother brought me up reading the newspapers. We couldn't really afford books, so it was the sort of exciting stories and tales from the newspapers that kept me going as a kid. So I always just wanted to be part of the magic.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for the interest, Jimmy.
Sorry, it's hard to eat and think at the same time.
I really wish you wouldn't eat in my car.
I'm hungry, man. Come on, give Jimmy a break. Now drive.
So you got anybody else have anything they want to discuss with Jimmy, or should you want to just fast forward through the trip to London?
No, I'm happy to fast forward.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here for an hour and a half.
No, it's 3 hours, man.
3 hours. Oh, fast.
Car sounds.
Time travels very slowly on this journey. So yeah, you take a delightful trip through the South England countryside as you head towards the smog of London. He eventually parks you up. I think he basically dumps you outside the newspaper and then says he's going to have to leave you because he can't park around there, so he's going to have to go take the car somewhere else.
Alright.
So he dumps the three of you outside the offices of the Scoop.
Oh my god, the pooper scooper.
We go in. I guess.
You're not just like, just leave. Just go to a pub.
we just 180 and walk down the street.
Just go to a pub, sit down, just chill. Get some fish and chips.
Oh yeah.
So you head inside to the offices of the Scoop at the and you sort of quickly greeted by. I mean, like the place isn't like particularly fancy. You've been to newspaper offices in America. This is a bit more rough and tumble, run down kind of thing. I mean, the building's much older and with probably much worse upkeep than you used to from places like the Boston Globe. The reception is just a one bored-looking woman at the desk smoking, and she sort of just stares up at you guys. She doesn't say anything. She just stares at you guys.
We stare straight back.
Take a picture, love.
So while you're just staring at her, she finishes her cigarette, puts it out, lights up another cigarette, still staring at you. And lights.
Chain smokers, I hate them guys. Okay. Excuse me. We believe I forget his name.
Mickey Mahoney.
Mickey Mahoney.
What a name.
Yeah, Mickey Mahoney.
What a name, Mickey Mahoney.
So what did you say, Kieran?
We're looking for Mickey Mahoney.
She says, Americans, eh? Is Mickey looking for you?
Not at this moment.
But he will be.
Oh, wait, did the library guy put us in touch with him or not, did you say?
Mickey's the one who just had a guy drive you 3 hours from Southampton.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'll say he is expecting us, yeah.
He's told us that.
Yeah.
Maybe we didn't want to give that info away. Yeah.
Jeez. I just was not paying attention.
I know. Don't know who he is.
Yes, he is expecting us.
She sort of looks annoyed at you, like stubs like her only just lit cigar just down into the ashtray. Walks back into the offices and just shout. She's like, Mickey, some Yanks here for you. And
Okay, some Yanks are here for you.
And so, after a few moments, let me see, I'm trying to get okay, so after a few moments, a guy comes sort of storming through the door. Is a big, overweight but not like obese, kind of like 43-year-old guy. He's a big guy, like red hair, got like a tartan cap on, jacket. Like got like a huge fucking cigar in his mouth, smoking away. And he sort of opens his mouth and speaks with like a really thick Irish accent. And is like, "Oh, you lads, the Boston boys, then, are you?" Actually, I'm not going to try and do an Irish accent.
I thought you said thick Irish accent.
Yeah, I'm not going to do. You lads, the Boston boys, then.
Boston boys, are you?
Hello there, boys.
Yes, that's us.
He says, "All right, come on in then," and he leads you over to his office. Just try to find what she's gonna give you.
What he's going to show us.
Yeah, it's like zip.
Mickey special.
That's a nice jacket.
You say that, and he's like, "Don't piss about, boys. I'm a busy man, but I promised your friends over in New York I'd help you out, so I'll do what I can. So what is it you're looking for?"
Any leads as to why Jackson Elias was across here?
Elias was a good chap. He always had a good story for me. He when he came to London, he told me he had something good about some evil cult operating here in London. You know, juicy stuff, the kind of stuff we get a kick out of. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of his books; they were all a bit dry. But he knew how to give me enough information that we could put a bit of pizzazz on it and sell it to the punters.
Pizzazz.
Yeah, pizzazz. You guys know pizzazz, right?
Kind of.
We do now.
Good, because that's my business. Like, I mean, he was a good friend, and I was sorry to hear about his death. Anything I can do to help you out, absolutely. But if you guys find anything while you're here, there's definitely money in it for you.
And pizzazz.
Well, yeah, you bring me the facts, I bring the pizzazz.
Awesome.
Brilliant. Now what?
So can you tell us what he was doing in London last time he was here?
Sure. I know. Hold on a sec. There was he spent a beast. Hold on a sec. Sorry, I should have read this a little bit better.
Oh Jeez, Mickey.
Look, he didn't tell me exactly what he was looking for, but he did spend a bit of time in our archives. He was looking. Since I knew you guys were coming, I had the archivist pull up the stories he was interested in. So if you want to take a look at them, I've got those ready for you downstairs. But I also know I do know for a fact that he was interested in the Penhew Foundation, but I didn't really get much about it. I don't know why. Those guys are. I've spoken to the Penhew people before, and they always seem pretty on the up and up to me. So I don't know what his interest there was, but I can certainly get you the stories he was interested in.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Okay. So let me just find these clippings for you. This is the stuff that I should have had on Roll20 for you, but I didn't get time to, sadly. Who's tutting me?
What?
Right, so I'm gonna have to just basically read these newspaper clippings out for you because there's 3 of them. So the headline is "Shocking Canvases Bring Recognition." So the subheadline is "Local Artists, Monstrous Scenes Mock Surrealists." So the body of the article is, "Now collectors can buy savage scenes which rival or surpass the worst nightmares of the Great War, but which are far more exotic than that grim business. London artist Mr. Miles Shipley's work is being sought out by collectors who have paid up to £300 for individual paintings. This correspondent has seen dozens of the works of artist Miles Shipley and finds them repulsive beyond belief. Maidens ravished, monsters ripping out of a man's innards, shadowy grotesque landscapes, and faces grimacing in horrors represent only a fraction of Shipley's work. With their repellent content, these works are conceived and executed with uncanny verisimilitude, almost as though the artist had worked from the photographs of alien places, surely never of this earth. The artist reportedly is in contact with other dimensions in which powerful beings exist and says he merely renders visible his visions. Mr. Shipley is a working class man without formal artistic training who has nonetheless made good where thousands have failed. Art critics say that Shipley provides an English answer to the continental artistic movement of surrealism, whose controversial practitioners have still to convince John Bull that the way in which a thing is painted is more important than what it is." So that's the first story.
Did it say who that guy lived? Sorry. He was English. You just said he was English.
Yeah, I mean, a London artist, Mr. Marshall, so he's in London somewhere. Right, that's one story. Next one. No, not that one. Excuse me.
No.
You're not excusing me? No. Slaughter continues. Scoop offers reward. An unidentified foreigner was found floating in the Thames this Thursday, the 24th victim in a series of bizarre slayings. Though Inspector James Barrington of the Yard has no immediate comment, sources exclusive to the Scoop agreed that the victim has been beaten severely by one or more assailants and then stabbed through the heart. This series of murders has continued over the space of 3 years, to the bafflement of our faithful metropolitans. Must we hope that Mr. Sherlock Holmes, though reported by Mr. Doyle to be in retirement, will one last time rise to the defence of our majestic isles? Readers of the Scoop are reminded that this esteemed journal has a standing reward for information leading to the... and then it just sort of cuts off there. And the last one... This one is...
Turn my light on.
I'll wait for him to get back.
I can still hear you.
Oh, well, creepy. So this last one is "It Almost Had Me" by Alan Groot, victim. And this is like a short clipping, basically. It says it was like turning suddenly, knowing something was there, only to find nothing, and nothing possessing hideous life. The dank water smell of the cloying fog was replaced by a foul scent of my smouldering hair, which somehow reached out and filled my lungs, driving itself deep into my body. I began to choke. It meant to kill me. I cannot describe the terrible feeling of invasion by those foggy tendrils, and still I could see nothing. And so this was from an article. This is like a clipping that was ghostwritten by Mahoney. So it's like basically he'd interviewed somebody and he was like writing it as if it was from their perspective. And so those are the 3 articles that Elias was interested in.
Okay.
And yeah, and that's what you've got so far.
Okay.
Go on, library
So
nerd.
we've got something to do with like paintings, something to do with like not mass killing, like killings. And what was the last one again? Sorry.
And the last one was a guy talking of like something unseen that was attacking him from the fog.
Where was that?
London, but it doesn't say. There's no specific details.
Just go wander around till we find something. Just
Hell.
wander around.
Well, I guess we can either look into any of these, or we can go to the Thingy Foundation.
Thingy Foundation?
Forget the name.
Penbrook.
Penhew.
Pembroke.
Pembroke, that's it.
Penhew.
You keep cutting out in the last word there, Perrin.
Penhew.
Pen.
That was
Was
it.
it pen?
Yeah, you did it twice. You went pen,
No.
Pen.
Penhew.
pen, pen.
So,
So we're gonna go to the penny.
Penhew.
Penhew.
Yeah, the Penhew.
The pen.
Foundation.
Pen.
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 Peen.
Yeah, so let's go to Penhew Foundation, I guess.
Okay, so you speak to I assume you were going to ask Mahoney for directions,
You assume correct this time.
and then he reminds you that you actually know because it's on that business card. Tottenham Court Road. So you're not far from there, but you probably have to take probably have to grab a taxi over there unless you want to go for a walk in London. It's up to you.
We want to walk in London, guys.
Oh.
Where
Desmond's
are we?
around.
Yeah, what area of London are we in?
Oh, actually, I do know this.
He knows this. Pen.
Pen.
What if you feel a knife in your back and it's Desmond?
It's not gonna happen. Got too high dodge.
Cane
still.
sword cuts Johnny's head off.
Desmond, shut up. It's not your turn.
I'm just fantasizing about killing you all.
I'm
It's
not-
Desmond.
You're at Fleet Street right now.
Is that where Harrod's at?
I want to buy
That's
Johnny,
fucking
Johnny, you have
Monopoly.
it.
You have to lead us around, Johnny. I don't know where the fuck I am.
You're in Fleet Street and you're heading to
That
Tottenham
still
Court
means nothing
Road.
to me. I don't know London.
I'm
Yeah, I don't
saying
know.
it for Johnny. I'm saying that for Johnny's benefit.
Alright, my bad.
Jimmy, I heard you know London, even though you got no memory.
I wait.
Yeah, Jimmy, we're looking at you.
Just
Yeah.
be like,
Guy with
this
amnesia.
seems familiar for some reason.
It's not far. It's not. It's like a 10-15 minute walk at most, isn't it?
Oh, let's do it then.
So
YOLO.
we might as well walk.
Walk in random direction.
Let's walk. Come on, guys, let's take a walk.
Okay. I guess you probably walk down Fleet Street towards Leicester. I guess you probably head past Strand towards Leicester Square and then up towards Tottenham Court Road. I would guess. That makes sense.
Yes.
You guess correct, I guess.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
there's quicker routes, but that's probably the most sort of touristy walking route, I guess, which probably makes sense for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny's just checking, thinking, well, I could just get the tube.
That's true. But we can we can walk up near Holborn and then we'll walk along to Tottenham Court Road.
All right.
It'll be about-
So
it'll be about-
Jimmy's been here before.
So whether he remembers it or not, Jimmy seems quite proficient in the walking of London streets.
Yes. That's a popular pastime of mine, I think. I think my diary said.
Right. So anyway, so you guys take a walk. Let me. So actually, just take a roll. Where's that?
Roll to get stabbed. What did he roll, guys? 70.
So
Oh,
you walk down the streets. It's like a relatively busy day. It's a weekday, but there's a lot of hubbub about people going around their business. Hubbub. You kind of every now and again get a fleeting glimpse as if someone's following you, but not. But over the course of your journey, like you don't feel pretty threatened because they don't approach you, and also you're like walking in daylight in amongst very busy streets. So
Yes.
I wish I had an observe skill. Oh wait, no, there's not one.
I wish I had a skill that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Wish I had it. Is this guy following me? Skill.
I wish I had useful skills.
You don't need skills to play this. You just need to just say.
I thought you had spot hidden.
Oh, I do. Yeah. What, my spot hiddening?
These guys are following us.
Oh, I'll fucking look at them then.
What?
So I was a bit distracted there. And then something. What am I rolling? 100.
Yeah.
D million.
I can't remember how to roll. I haven't rolled in so many months. I've forgotten how to roll. I didn't roll last session, and I haven't. It's been months since we played. So is it roll D100?
Yeah.
D1
You
million.
need under 45. Okay. So.
I see you.
Put a little cross next to it, Carlo.
Thank you, Des.
Then you can level it up in the future.
Sometimes Desi's a cunt.
Don't put a cross next to it. You can't level it up.
And this, as you make that roll, Desmond goes past on an open top bus and goes, "Remember to level up."
Stop ruining my immersion.
And just imagine every time Askew speaks, it's him like driving past or something.
What did I do? Spot hidden. That was it. I think spot hidden's the only skill I've actually used.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like,
so you use spot hidden and you.
And he spots the
that's
hidden.
it.
You catch the sight of like you don't see their face, but you see someone sort of dressed in like a banking outfit, vaguely trailing you. But as soon as you put the X in the box to the left. That's what it's there for.
This scroll.
X don't
What?
give.
Does it make a difference?
Yes.
Desmond said yes.
Anyway,
Oh, it's not here.
so yeah, you basically confirm. All you really do is confirm that someone is following you, but they're far enough back, and because you spot them, they kind of stop following you. They kind of like realize that you've seen them and sort of back away. Cool. So you guys get to the Penhew Foundation.
Desmond stood at the front door.
Pretty weird, actually. Even within this book, they contradict the. I guess maybe the people who wrote this aren't like Londoners or whatever, but they've contradicted the location of it.
Nerds.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is a huge Victorian building, like ornate and I guess opulent. I guess would be the word. It goes at least 2 stories high, and it's very grand. The sign and everything. This isn't like some rundown, hidden away thing. This is definitely like a respectable organisation with the kind of prestige front they're showing. So there's one main public entrance with a doorman outside, and that's all you see at the moment. So.
That's what we're doing.
Going inside.
Okay, so you go in.
Forward, men.
As you go inside, the doorman sort of nods to you and pulls the door open and lets you in. As you pass through, there's clearly a security guard standing just inside the door, who sort of eyes you guys up and just sort of gives you the once over.
Wasn't me.
He doesn't touch you, he's just looking at you, just making sure you guys aren't. I mean, he's probably not actually looking for trouble. He's probably more the kind of person who's like would be throwing homeless people out and stuff like that. I mean, you guys aren't that badly presented, so you're fine.
Ah, yeah, free pass.
And then you walk past him to like a big marble reception area with a receptionist who looks up. Can I help you, gentlemen? Hold on a second. I've got maps of this place. Yes. Yeah, there's a desk. So yeah, there's a desk in the middle of the reception hall, and it's all marble.
Am I doing the talking again?
Yeah.
Every time.
You're welcome to get involved. You can push him out of the way.
Hey,
Shrugs past.
hello there.
Oh. Hello.
I'm just gonna walk past.
You try to walk past, and the security guard says, "Excuse me, gentlemen."
Okay. Hello.
Do you happen to know people that frequent here?
I'm the receptionist. It's kind of my job.
Do you know if there was a Jackson Elias here recently?
It's not my position to, say who has and hasn't come. You would have to speak to,
Oh, okay.
you'd have to speak to Mr. Gavigan, I believe.
Mr. Gavigan.
Yes, he's the director of the foundation.
Is there any chance we'd be able to speak to him?
What would it be? What would you wish to speak to him about in particular?
Is it the Carlisle expedition?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Are you reporters? I mean, he has obviously spoken to reporters many times about the late Mr. Audrey Penhew, and I'm not sure there's any more information to be dredged up on that matter.
We're private investigators.
In whose employ, might I ask?
Sorry?
In whose employ, might I ask?
Under whose employ?
Yeah, yes.
In whose employ?
Yes.
So rude, this reception.
We work for Russ back in agency. Not agency. Detective agency.
I can't remember what it's called now.
Will Mr. Gavigan have heard of you?
Yeah.
Possibly.
I should hope so.
We were good friends with Jackson Elias, which
Jackson-
him out.
Jackson Elias is that the person you're looking for? Did you? You haven't said that name before, so.
Yeah, it did.
Sure
It was
we
the
did.
first thing I asked when I came in.
It was.
You didn't say the name.
He did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
Listen to this.
Tisk.
Right. Okay. Sorry, that was my mistake. It says I'll have a word with Mr. Gavigan. Please wait here.
Sure.
So she leaves and
You do.
she leaves and walks down the corridor behind her, goes through a door on the right, and then you're waiting a few minutes while she
Oh, you could have told me that.
We're gonna do in a few minutes.
Get your iPod out.
How do you do? God, I hate that song.
Don't hum too much of it. We don't want to be sued by Disney.
Oh, right. I think we're allowed 10 seconds. Or something
Yeah.
like that.
Anyway, so after a few minutes, she wanders back in and says, "Mr. Gavigan will see you. Please, just go down that corridor. Take the first door on the right, and just go straight through the waiting room. He's into his office. He'll be expecting you."
Why don't you just lead us there?
I've got.
Jimmy, stop being an awkward bastard.
I'm sure you'll find it fine.
Well, we're just giving us awkward directions. You could just lead us there. Like a good host.
Please excuse my friend Jimmy here. He has amnesia.
So he forgot his manners.
Yeah.
What I love about that is that when each of your characters has a secret, and Jimmy's is just like the first thing everyone says about him. Oh, sorry about Jimmy. He's got amnesia. We should have done that with Desmond. Oh, this is my friend Desmond. He's a traitor.
We didn't know.
Everyone else did.
Right. So let's go down to the office then.
Okay. Just finding his information. So anyway, so you go down the corridor slightly. You go through to the door on the right. There's like a waiting room with like chairs and newspapers and things. But you go straight through into the office of Mr. Edward Gavigan. He's standing behind his desk waiting for you. He's a man in his 50s, very well-to-do, very well dressed, very smart, like prim and proper British, polished British man kind of thing.
How do you do?
How do you do? And he says,
I was actually
Sings
saying,
us.
how do you do?
"Fine, how are you?" it's
Pretty
like,
good. Don't show me your balls.
I'll leave the building.
sorry, man. I should accelerate this a bit. So anyway, he says, welcome, gentlemen. How can I help you? I understand you are inquiring about Mr. Jackson Elias. Are you friends of his?"
Yes.
Yes. Why, yes, as a matter of fact, we are.
What's it to you? Who's asking? No,
He says, I was very saddened to learn about his death. He was a very smart gentleman. I didn't have many dealings with him, but he seemed very astute in matters of of significance to my organisation.
he was a great man.
Yes, he was. So I hear anyway. I'll take your word for it.
We're here kind of trying to follow up on what he was doing, really, and see if we can find a connection, because he seemed to be investigating some kind of cult and trying to find a connection, see if there is a connection between his death and what he was trying to look into.
Well, I only met the man once. He came here to this office, as you have, and he was like many people who've crossed my paths over the past few years, he's very interested in understanding, the Aubrey Penhew's involvement in the Carlisle expedition. It's obviously this has been quite well reported, and I shall understand. I didn't really feel like I had anything particularly new to pass on to Mr. Elias, but he seemed disappointed, of course, and that was the last I saw of him.
Disappointed?
Well, yes, I told him what I knew about the Carlisle, the expedition from my perspective at least, which I guess is at least a little different than the newspaper reports, but I got the feeling he was looking for something more, and I guess I wasn't in a position to provide that.
Why do you think he thought there'll be more to it, or more that you could offer?
I couldn't really guess. We didn't go in as that far. People have talked to me many times, because it was obviously such a great tragedy. People are always very interested in looking at it and trying to dig in deeper and try and find other sides to the story. I think that's human nature. When a tragedy happens, we try to rationalize it and understand and try and find more meaning behind, when sometimes acts of brutality are just a part of life and nature.
Yes. It's very deep.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you. I didn't tell you my name.
My secretary told me.
I didn't tell her my name.
Then I
Yes,
don't.
yeah, we said ignore Jimmy. He's got amnesia.
I thought you said my colleague.
I don't remember.
I said Jimmy.
I'm sure I heard your name.
Oh, so
Anyway. Oh, Jimmy.
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 I think what else we can ask.
Huh?
You just think anything to ask?
Where is Mrs. Penhew? Pen. Oh, I don't know.
You mean Mr. Aubrey Penhew,
Yeah.
one of the tragic victims of the Carlisle expedition?
Yeah, where are they? I want to go pay my respects.
Oh, Jimmy. He's our friend Jimmy has amnesia.
Yes, well, I'm sorry to tell you, Mr. Jimmy, that Aubrey, like Sir Aubrey, like everyone.
No. Please call me Mr. Shaffakum.
Mr. Shaffakum. I'm sorry to tell you, like all members of the Carlisle expedition, he never returned from that fateful expedition.
Didn't he have a sister or something?
No.
Am I just getting really confused?
Yes.
Yeah, go back to amnesia land, Jimmy.
Okay. I'll go.
Well, if we were to ask you about more specific locations about where the expedition was going and heading to, would you be able to help us on that?
I could tell you what I told Elias, if that will help you.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? So the Carlisle expedition, as it stood, obtained their information, apparently, from a mysterious African woman concerning a shadowy time in Egyptian history, about which Sir Aubrey he'd long been interested in such matters. In this ancient time, a sorcerer was reputed to have ruled the Nile Valley. Alas, most of this information proved to be a hoax, really. Once they got to Egypt, the African woman who was providing the information disappeared with the expedition's funds, which was an amount upwards of £3,000. So it was, we are gentlemen of the world, are we not? And we tried to, the Carlisle expedition tried to count the money as lost and insignificant, but it was deeply the Carlisle, I forget his name, something Carlisle, was deeply affected by the defection of his lover. Fearing that the heat and disappointment of Egypt would seriously affect his health as well as Carlisle's. Hypatia Masters, one of the I can't remember which character that is, suggested that the party spend the summer months in the relatively cool Kenyan uplands, affording her a wonderful opportunity to use some new lenses to photograph African wildlife. I mean, this is as it was reported to us by Mr. Penhew anyway. Once there, the group injudiciously entered dubious territory and paid for it sadly with their lives. The vast share of the expedition records were lost there as well, for Sir Aubrey took them along with him, and so while matters were fresh in his mind, he says wherever he is now, that's wherever all those records are, sadly.
In the Kenyan uplands.
Yes. That was the last we heard from them anyway. I mean, if you follow the newspaper reports, you'll understand that many bodies were found, and it's just presumed that local natives discovered the expedition as they were kind of just on their wildlife retreat, and sadly murdered them. I mean, the expedition was. I mean, not that it makes up for the loss of life, but the expedition wasn't for naught really. The expedition did turn up some interesting artifacts from other periods, not the periods that were specifically out there to investigate, but there was certainly things that were sent back of interest to the foundation.
And would you be able to tell us such as?
Oh, I mean, I would be delighted to show you some of the artifacts there. I mean, I'm not sure how they would relate to your investigation, but I mean, we had to clear much of them with the Egyptian government since they claimed direct ownership of them. But they've offered to lend many of them to either British museums or a handful of them sold directly to our foundation. Hold on a sec. Many of the bigger items and more significant ones are still being catalogued in the Egyptian museums in Cairo, but I've got a handful here, and he sort of he says, if you wish to come upstairs, I can show you around a few of them.
Sure.
Okay, so he leads you. Jimmy, your microphone's up. So he leads you out of his office.
Amnesia, this guy.
Hawkeye of Paris.
It's just because he was quiet.
The fact it was dead quiet.
Yeah. So he leads you out of his office, and he goes right, like, further up the corridor you originally walked up, and then to the left up some stairs, and you come up to the second floor, which is this huge open floor room, which is basically like sort of museum style. It's like lots of items on pedestals or in glass cabinets and stuff all around the place. And he basically spends the next few hours showing you around all sorts of things like shards, broken pots, noseless statues, sort of carvings. Nothing that particularly seems shocking or Cthulhu-esque. Nothing seems occultist. Everything's just very these are just like Egyptian artifacts, which is what the Penhew Foundation is all about, as he repeatedly tells you, which is about of an interest in Egyptology. So.
Very nice.
So they don't really have any link to anything that we're
No, but he's very enthused about. Well, I say enthused. He's quite a dull man, but he tells you in very monotone voice about each of the artifacts and what their significance is in terms of historical.
Okay. So where should we go next?